Are you a frequent flyer, dreaming of bigger upgrades, better reward seat access, and more flexibility with your points? Well, if you're currently holding a frequent flyer credit card, you might want to think again. There's a secret weapon that's just waiting to boost your travel game, and that is the American Express Membership Rewards credit card line. Let me show you why it's the ultimate travel companion and how it blows a frequent flyer credit card out of the park. G'day, I'm Cal, your go-to guide for frequent flyer points and premium travel. If you're all about turning everyday expenses into travel gold, hit that like and subscribe button. It's free and it helps me bring you more content like this. Now, just a heads up, I'm not a financial advisor and this video isn't financial advice. Always double check that this strategy works for you and your situation before jumping in. Now you might be thinking, isn't a frequent flyer credit card specifically designed for frequent flyers? And yes, they have their perks, but here's the kicker. With an American Express credit card, you can buy something that frequent flyer cards can't: flexibility. With an American Express credit card in Australia, you're not just earning points tied to one airline. You're building a flexible currency that can be transferred directly to 12 airlines and one hotel program. And that, my friends, is a game changer. Because American Express points are transferable, you get access to a wider range of reward seats than with a regular frequent flyer credit card that's tied to a single airline. That means better availability, more choice, and often even the availability for upgrades. We know that when airlines release reward availability, they only release a certain number to be booked by partner airlines and keep the rest for their own frequent flyer program. For example, a Qatar flight might have a total of 8 business reward seats released when it goes on sale, but only 2 might be given to Virgin for access with Velocity points, making it far harder to book with Velocity points than it is with Qatar's own Avios program. If you've heard enough already and you're ready to jump into this new world, my pick of the bunch at the moment is the American Express Explorer card, which I have a referral link in the description below for, which helps me out a lot. The card offers 100,000 membership rewards points on sign up, 2 points earned per dollar spent, and $400 in travel credit, which offsets the annual fee, but I'll get more into this card's details shortly. Still not convinced? Let's break it down and see how it works. In Australia, American Express membership rewards points can be transferred directly to Air New Zealand, Asia Miles, Emirates Skywards, Etihad Guest, Hawaiian Airlines, Malaysia Airways, Qatar Airways, Singapore Airlines, Thai Royal Orchid, Virgin Australia's Velocity, and Virgin Atlantic. If you're fortunate enough to be in a position where you can apply for the American Express Platinum card, you also unlock the ability to transfer directly to Qantas frequent flyer. It's worth noting that these transfers are not directly one-to-one. They're usually at a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1 rate, seemingly devaluing your points, but it's important to remember that you earn 2 points per dollar or more on this card, so it all comes out about the same. So how exactly is this better than having a card that earns directly with one program? It comes down to award flexibility and upgrade availability. I mentioned earlier about how not all reward seats are released to every party. Let's just have a look at one example of this. Here I have a flight from Melbourne to Singapore on Singapore Airlines with no reward availability to be booked with Velocity points. But if we look at the same flight using Singapore Airlines' KrisFlyer miles, we can find seats on the exact same flight. So all you'd need to do is create a frequent flyer account with that airline, transfer the appropriate amount of points, and book the flight, which you couldn't do if you only collected Velocity points. If you think about the sheer volume of flights that the listed airlines have, especially in and out of Australia, this absolutely skyrockets your chance of being able to find the reward seats you want, as well as opening doors to more premium experiences on airlines that you couldn't previously access with Velocity or Qantas points directly, like Singapore Airlines' A380 first class suites that can only be booked with KrisFlyer miles. The other side of the coin that makes these points so valuable is upgrades. We all know that you can only use an airline's own points or miles to upgrade your flights. Qantas points on Qantas flights, Velocity points on Virgin Australia, Avios on British Airways. But now this opens a new door for you. Imagine you've been booked economy by your employer, for example, on a flight from Australia to Europe on Etihad. If you have a stack of Qantas or Velocity points, you're stuck in no man's land in terms of bidding for an upgrade unless you pay the cash price. But now you can just create an account with Etihad, register your new frequent flyer account against the flight, and see how many Etihad guest miles the upgrade would cost. Then all that's left to do is transfer those points across to your new Etihad account and bid away. It's worth reminding there is no guarantee of any upgrade going through, and it's always best to book premium just to make sure you fly premium. But it is incredible to know that you now have an option. I mentioned earlier that my pick of the American Express cards at the moment is the American Express Explorer card, which is their mid-tier card. If you apply through the link in my bio, it has a sign-up offer of 100,000 membership rewards points. It earns 2 points per dollar spent. It includes $400 of travel credit and 2 lounge passes to the Centurion lounges in Sydney and Melbourne, which has actually come in handy quite a few times, especially if you fly Virgin Australia International, where there's no lounge access, even if you're flying business. This card carries an annual fee of $395, so as long as you use the $400 included travel credit from the American Express travel portal, you're technically making money. If you add the Hilton Honors Silver status on top, as well as the Hotel Collections cashback and the included travel insurance, it will soon become an essential card in your wallet. So why settle for just one airline when you could have access to the world? With the American Express Membership Rewards program, you're in control of how and where you use your points. That's the kind of power a frequent flyer credit card just can't give you. Let me know your comments below. I'd love to hear your ideas or answer any questions you might have. And remember, if you're thinking it, someone else probably is too. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you at the pointy end.